All right, so we're rolling. Juan Fernandez Guapateo de Puerto Rico. All right, so we'll talk about that. I know you want to talk about Puerto Rico, which I love. But let's talk about Lizbeth first, because it looks like she's going to be one of those characters that's going to, you do an amazing job, but she's going to be around because she's iconic. Why do you think that is? That we keep returning to her and want to know more about her and her stories?
I think because she's got something to say. I think a lot of people identify with her, which is odd because a lot of people kind of see her for some reason as like a vigilante or someone who kind of lives on the fringes of society. But I think a lot of people kind of recognise something in her that they feel themselves, which is slightly lost. Definitely kind of taken advantage of in some way and hurt, but also that you don't want to do what you're told. I think Lisbeth hates doing what she's told, and she doesn't have to anymore because she's an adult. So
do you identify with that? Do you have a problem with authority, or?
I wish I had a problem with authority because I'm like one of those people who goes, yes, sure. But I do understand her complete kind of feeling of people putting an impression upon her, telling her what she is, and having to think that that's what she's allowed to do then, that's who she is now. She hates that.
But one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, because what I liked about her, she's heroic, but you're never thinking like, oh, cool, she handles gun, or oh, she's driving the car. It's more about her strength and her intelligence, her anger too. Was it sort of like, which is what pushes her too?
Yeah.
Is that draining to play every single day as an actor? Because she's in that space where she's dealing with a hurt that necessarily.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it does become, you do feel the burden of it for her. And I was very lucky that I know that when I go home and I can relax and I can have a nice bath and, I can, have a level of comfort. Lisbeth doesn't sit well in comfort, she's quite uneasy with that. But then that doesn't make her wrong, I suppose, is what I realise. It doesn't just because, I like to go home and have a glass of wine. She's just so the same as she likes to, have half a bottle of vodka. Why not?
Sure. Tell me about collaborating with Fede, because obviously he's given you a fantastic role, and this is sort of he's done fantastic work with female characters before, but the scope of this is really impressive on what's on screen. So talk about your relationship with him.
Yeah, I love him. I think he's a really lovely man. We really sort of found our way together, I think. It was a real exploration. I think there was lots of moments where we would be discussing something and be like, we think about this completely differently, and we'd have to find a joint kind of way of doing it, or other moments which was sort of we didn't have to talk about it because we just got it. And anyway, from the very beginning when I spoke to him and his story about what the story he wanted to tell with this film, and about the sisters and about family and about not being able to deny psychologically things that have happened to you, that eventually everything will catch up with you, I kind of really understood. And he's just a really interesting man as well.
So one of the things that sort of galvanized me watching it last night is that last scene. That it's not a villain or a hero, that it's sort of an emotional climax.
It wasn't really supposed to be like that. I don't know how that ended up
Do
happening.
you think that that's what attracted you to material, that it wasn't necessarily you were playing something beyond of an archetype, and you got to play it on with this fantastic character?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think I always knew that she was going to have to face something that she didn't want to face. That's why I found that scene really difficult, I suppose. But just, that people have always viewed her as one thing. So much of the conversation about playing the part was about the aesthetic and how I look and everything like that. And to me, that goes against who Lizbeth is. Focusing on what someone is like from the outside completely defies what her character is. And so this film just tries to unpick that a little bit.
So I'm going to take my last 5 seconds and squeeze in the fact that you shot in Puerto Rico.
6 months.
What did you remember about being in Puerto Rico? What did you get so excited when you find out that I was from there?
Oh, because I just loved it. The skies, the fact that you can be outside 1 minute it's boiling hot and sunny, and then suddenly you're in a thunderstorm. I just loved it. I loved the kind of it. The weather felt so kind of volatile and tempestuous and just beautiful. I loved the landscape. I loved driving through the mountains and the jungle, and I loved being by the sea and the food, and just everything. The people. I just what an amazing culture. I should be so proud of it.
Yeah, I am, and nothing if not hospitable. So next time I'm taking you to Rincon.
Yes, please. Thank you so much.